It was one of those mornings where everything moved like clockwork. Elevators dinged, heels clicked against marble floors, assistants juggled schedules, and executives barked orders into their Bluetooth headsets. On the 42nd floor of the towering Skylink corporate building, the air smelled of freshly brewed coffee, ambition, and anxiety. Inside the glass-walled corner office, Adil Khan, CEO of Skylink Enterprises and one of the country's youngest tech millionaires, was seated behind a massive mahogany desk. He was reviewing quarterly reports, eyes flickering with precision, tapping his pen against the table, when a soft knock interrupted him. His secretary, Nyla, peeked in, wearing a confused expression. "Sir, there's a visitor asking to see you. She doesn't have an appointment." Adil didn't look up. "Then tell her to come back with one." Nyla hesitated. "She's 6 years old, sir. And she says she's here for her mom's job interview." Adil finally looked up. "What?" Before Nyla could explain further, a tiny voice echoed from behind her. "Hi, I'm Alina. My mom's sick today, so I came instead. She really needs this job." A small girl stepped into the office, dressed in her mom's oversized blazer that nearly touched the floor, her hair in 2 uneven ponytails, carrying a plastic lunchbox and a folded paper resume. Her eyes sparkled with nervous bravery. Adil blinked, utterly stunned. Alina climbed into the chair across from him, legs dangling, barely reaching the edge. She opened the lunchbox and took out a piece of bread. "I brought snacks, if you're hungry." Adil's tough CEO facade melted just a little. He cleared his throat. "Alina, this is a corporate office. It's not usual for children to be here." "I know," she said quietly, "but Mama had a fever. She said if she missed the interview, she might lose the chance. So I said I'd come and tell you how amazing she is." Her small fingers pushed the crumpled paper resume across the desk. "She types really fast. And she always gets my school forms right. And she used to work in an office before Daddy left. But then I got sick, and she had to stay home. Now I'm better. And she needs to work again." Adil picked up the resume. It wasn't impressive, just a few years of office work, nothing technical. But his attention wasn't on the paper anymore. It was on the girl sitting before him, eyes full of hope, voice shaking slightly, determined to fight for her mother in the only way she knew how. "Do you know what this company does, Alina?" She nodded seriously. "You make smart apps. My mama showed me on her phone. One of them helps people find cheap medicine. That's her favorite. She says you help people." Adil leaned back, the words hitting deeper than she could have known. Because once, he had needed help too. He'd grown up in a small town, raised by a single mother who cleaned houses during the day and stitched clothes at night. He knew what it felt like to watch your mom break her back to keep the lights on. He knew what courage looked like, and now, he was staring at a 6-year-old version of it. "Where is your mom now?" he asked softly. "At home. I made her soup before I left. I took a taxi with the money I got from selling my toys." She hesitated, then looked down. "We don't have a lot of food left." Adil's heart twisted. The room went silent, filled with an emotion he hadn't felt in years. He stood up. "Come on, Alina. Let's go meet your mom." An hour later, Adil stood at the door of a small apartment in a rundown building on the other side of town. Alina held his hand tightly, guiding him up the steps. When the door opened, a pale, weak-looking woman appeared, shocked beyond words to see the CEO of Skylink Enterprises standing at her door. I don't understand." "Ma'am," Adil said gently, "your daughter came to your interview for you. I've never seen a resume like hers before. She says you're smart, hardworking, and incredibly kind. That's good enough for me." Tears welled in the mother's eyes. She could barely speak. Adil handed her a job offer letter, not an assistant job like she'd applied for, but a full-time position in customer support with work-from-home options, medical benefits, and daycare allowance. She also said you make amazing soup, he added with a small smile. The woman broke down, sobbing into her hands. Alina ran to her, hugging her tightly. I told you, Mama, she whispered. I told you he'd understand. From that day forward, their lives changed. Alina's mother, Samira, proved to be a fast learner and a loyal employee. She grew within the company, later helping launch an outreach program for single mothers looking to rejoin the workforce. Alina, now with better meals, books, and a warm bed, began to thrive in school. She would often accompany her mom to work events, proudly introducing herself as the youngest job applicant in Skylink's history. And Adil? He never forgot that moment, that knock on the door that reminded him why he started building apps that helped people. He became more involved in community hiring programs, offering jobs to people who had the will, not just the qualifications. Years later, during a corporate event, Alina stood on stage as a teen and shared her story to a standing ovation. My mom needed a job. I was just a little girl in her blazer. But the man sitting there, she pointed to Adil in the front row, didn't see a joke or a mistake. He saw a chance to do something right. And because of that, everything changed. The crowd clapped, many wiping tears. Adil stood up, overwhelmed by the full-circle moment. And in that room filled with suits, lights, cameras, and ambition, one little girl's courage reminded everyone what true leadership looks like. Because sometimes, the smallest voices carry the biggest truth. And sometimes, a child walking into a CEO's office doesn't just ask for a job. She brings a reason for hope.